So, you want a Kawasaki ZX25R. Ang dami kasi nabasang comments sa TikTok. People saying they want to buy ZX25R sa future. Well, so as a ZX25 owner myself, I have a couple things to share to you guys before you consider buying this motorcycle, right? Before I share my thoughts and experiences of being an owner, share ko muna konti yung background ko sa inyo guys. So, my background, I am a 5'7 rider. Di ko alam ilang inches yung inseam ko. Pero ang weird lang sa body ko is that mas mahaba yung torso ko kaysa sa legs ko. So, in terms of seat height, medyo lugi ako compared sa ibang riders na, you know, average Filipino height, 5'7", 5'6". So, if kaya ko to itipto, kayang-kaya nyo rin yan guys. Lalo na if nasa mga 5'6 kayo, 5'7". Bukod doon, in terms of riding experience naman, meron akong 1 year na experience. I started on the Honda ADV 160 last August 2023. And then, last August 2024 din, I swapped my Honda ADV 160 for this 2022 model na Kawasaki ZX25R. So I had just over a year. I have just over a year of riding experience, and I have ridden over 7,000 kilometers at this point. May odo din pala yung rider no? Pero anyway, yun, I have a little bit of experience naman. And I've had this bike starting August 2024. So ngayon it's been September, October. 2 months na, and you know, I have a couple thoughts to share to you guys, lalo na sa mga nagbabalak na bumili ng ZX25R. So, wow, that's really loud. So, yeah, no? Yun ata yung number one reason why people want to buy this bike, no? Is the inline 4 screamer na sound talaga. It's beautiful, guys. Aminin ko sa inyo, grabe. Napakaganda ng tunog ng 250cc na inline 4. And bukod sa experience, I've also received training from other rider schools, right? So I've received training from Ride Academy na rider enhancement course. Also I also received training from Mel Aquino na dirt bike riding school. So bukod sa experience guys, I also have some knowledge to share sa inyo. You know, I also received really priceless, invaluable expert knowledge from those schools. Kaya I highly recommend you guys doing the same. You should also invest in yourself, not just in your bikes, but also invest in your skills, invest in knowledge by enrolling in those riding schools. There's a lot of things to learn in riding. Kaya in love ako sa hobby nito. It's like learning never stops. So I encourage you guys to do your research, to really join in these training programs. Worth all the money, mas worth it kaysa mag-invest sa mga upgrades na pointless naman, like yung mga winglets. So that's it for my background as a rider. Ngayon naman pag-usapan natin ng motor. So this right here guys, what I'm riding right now is a 2022 model ZX25R SE Special Edition. Si ZX25R kasi meron siyang two types of versions. Meron siyang Standard Edition or the STD na abbreviation for short. Ang pangit STD, gago. And merong Special Edition. So ang difference naman sa dalawa is si STD wala siyang auto blip and quick shifter. CSE Special Edition meron. Yun ang difference, the electronics lang. Assist and sleeper clutch, ABS, traction control, power modes. Both versions have those features. The STD version costs around 400,000 pesos. And the SE edition, the special edition, costs mga 440,000 pesos. So right off the bat, first point agad before buying the ZX25R, pricey talaga siya for a sub 400cc na bike na hindi expressway legal. Pero inline 4 screamer siya. And sport bike, very stable sa banking, very sporty yung performance niya. And it's Kawasaki, dude. You're also paying for the Kawasaki badge, the Kawasaki reliability, Wait, let me just check my maps for a sec. So, if nasa needs mo talaga as a rider yung expressway legal na bike, then malamang hindi ito para sa'yo. Second point naman, mahal din na maintenance niya compared to smaller displacement bikes and compared to 2 cylinders, single cylinders. Mas mahal ang maintenance na ito kasi high revving engine. So kailangan na mas frequent yung intervals ng change oil niya. And yun, mahal yung langis, mahal yung mga chain na maintenance, mahal din yung brake pads, everything. It's expensive. So you really have to prepare the maintenance cost of owning this bike. Kasi for example, yung engine oil niya is fully synthetic na 10W40, 2.9 liters yung capacity niya. So you have to buy 3 bottles of 1 liter na fully synthetic. Syempre dapat yung pipiliin mo fully synthetic, the best oil with the best additives, kasi kasi high revving engine, performance bike siya. So you need quality oil na hindi basta na-degrade yung mga additives niya. Mahal na maintenance niya, kahit sabihin 250cc lang siya, pero inline 4 kasi. And third point, mainit siya sa Pinas, or mainit siya in general sa mga traffic, kasi yun nga, inline 4 engine, screamer. Kapag nasa stuck ka sa mga traffic talaga, yung mga hard, really very intense traffic, tataas yung temps mo. Sa akin umabot ng 110 degrees Celsius kapag talagang all stop yung traffic, or minsan 115. Pag umabot ng 115, nagbe-blink na siya so ibig sabihin malapit na mag-overheat. So that's one thing to consider. Pero kapag sa mga maluwag naman na lugar like this one dito sa Commonwealth sa Quezon City Circle ng ganitong oras, umaandar naman, hindi naman stop traffic. Basta pag sa mga maluwag na kalsada, babagsak naman yung temps niya ng 100 degrees Celsius, 98, mga ganun. Yun yung usually yung average temperature ko sa ganitong klaseng kalsada na maluwag naman. Pero compared naman sa like the Triumph Daytona na test ride ko nung nakaraan, mas malamig to. Kasi ewan ko ba may sa mga European bikes, bakit ang init nila, grabe ang init ng mga European bikes. Yeah, gets ko naman, Daytona 660 is a higher displacement bike than my ZX25R, so it's unfair to compare. Pero grabe talaga, kahit yung speed, hindi speed 400 yung na-test ride ko, Scrambler 400X yung na-test ride ko, grabe din yung temperature. Hindi man super lala, pero ramdam mo talaga sa calves mo, sa ankle, mga ganun. I don't know, man. Pero yeah, mainit talaga to sa traffic. My next point, mabagal siya for an inline 4. Yun yung pinaka-favorite kong point kasi yun yung yun yung binabash dito mabagal siya 250cc lang yan. Well, yung top speed niya na claimed by Kawasaki is around 150 km per hour yung top speed niya, which is mabagal sa iba, pero para sa akin naman it's perfect speed na yan. Kasi the type of riding that I'm doing naman is mostly sa city, mostly sa NCR, minsan sa Marilake. Perfect yung power niya for me. Kasi hindi naman ako pumapasok sa expressway, so di ko man talaga kailangan mag top speed palagi. 100 to 120 kph, masaya na ako dyan sa city riding. Mabilis na yan dito sa syudad, and mabilis na yan sa Marilake. 100-120 kph, mabilis na yun. Yeah, so okay na siya for me lang May kasabihan kasi, it's better to ride a slow bike fast than to ride a fast bike slow. Diba? What do you guys think about that saying? No? Na at least dito sa ZX25R ko, palagi ako kumakambyo, I always change gears. Umabot ako ng 6 gear cruising sa Commonwealth, di ba? Sa city naman, dun sa sa mga masikip na mga kalsada, umabot ako ng 3rd gear, 4th gear minsan. Di ba? Masaya naman na lagi nag-change gears. And also, kayang-kaya mo paabutin ng 16,000 RPM without breaking the speed limit. Yun talaga Ang sarap to isagad from first gear 16,000, second gear 16,000 again. Frequently changing gears, it's so fun. Lalo na yung auto blip, grabe yung saya. Ang sarap ng auto blip. I mean, talagang pangit naman ng words ko. Ang saya na gamitin yung auto blip. Tangin na matigalan. Anyway, yeah, perfect siya for me. 43 horsepower is still 43 horsepower, guys. nangyari dito. And yung torque nga lang niya, yun yung reklamo sa mga tao dito eh. Wala siyang arangkada from stop and go traffic. Wala talaga. Sa low RPM halos wala siyang torque guys, which is true. Inline 4 eh. Inline 4 is more on the top end power eh. Hindi siya masyadong ma-torque. Lalo na 250cc, no? And next point, mabigat siya na sub 400cc bike. Yes. Did you know guys, believe it or not, ang timbang nito nasa 184 kilos. Wet and ready to ride. Ang bigat, di ba? Mas mabigat pa to kesa sa Ninja 400. Well, syempre malamang inline 4 to eh. Pero isipin nyo yun, like, sub 400cc, 250cc lang siya. Pero at the same time, grabe, mas mabigat kesa sa ibang expressway legal na motor. Kasi ganun talaga eh, more cylinders equals more moving parts, all the good stuff, pero mabagal nga lang. Which disadvantageous siya kung palagi kang nag-ride na may OBR. Medyo disadvantage ka dun kasi siya eh, parang nabawasan yung performance niya eh. Pero hindi naman super na talaga na hindi talaga kaya ng makina yung yung may OBR ka. Pero ramdam mo talaga yung lungkot yung lungkot na nabawasan ka ng performance. It can still go fast pero ramdam mo talaga yung difference eh. And kapag ni-ride mo naman, ito nimble naman siya 184 kilos, it doesn't feel 184 kilos when you're riding. But sa mga slow speed maneuvers, dun mo ramdam. Tsaka kung ipapark mo na to, tinutulak mo, pinupull mo, ganon sa mga parking, yun, ramdam mo na yung bigat niya. Pero for me, okay naman na practice yun eh. Kasi if you're preparing yourself to, eventually, you're gonna upgrade talaga to a bigger CC, at least, di ba, pagdating ng time na yon, hindi ka masyadong magugulat sa bigat. Kasi yung weight niya, ito, isipin nyo, halos kasing bigat ng ZX4RR. 2 or 4 kilos lang ata difference sa dalawa. And sa XSR 700 ang tropa ko, halos same weight din sila. Biruin nyo, diba? 250cc na inline 4 kasi bigat ng CP2 or inline 4 na 400cc. So mabigat talaga to, pero it's great training. Great training talaga. Luwag ng kalsada ngayon sa Commonwealth. Kasi usually pag rush hour, pag gabi, wala talaga, walang galawan dito. Pero guys, ang ingay niya talaga. Ito for me, in my opinion, ito yung pinaka loudest na inline 4 eh. For me, lalo na pag umabot ng 16,000 RPM, hindi pa nga ito naka full system eh. Naka slip on lang ako. Nandyan pa rin yung catalytic converter, as in slip on lang talaga yung dito, yung aftermarket. Halos tunog F1 na siya eh kapag umabot ng ganun ka taas na RPM. Tapos pag nasa Marilaki ako, cornering at 10,000, 12,000 RPM mid corner, tapos beat it full throttle on exit, grabe, iba talaga yung adrenaline, yung excitement na shifting at 16,000 RPM, grabe, without having to reach dangerous speeds talaga. So yun talaga, pwede for beginner rider like me. Sigip na gago. My last point naman, before you're considering buying a ZX25R, it's a very beginner friendly bike, no? So gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, mabagal siya. So beginner rider tayo eh. Hopefully when you're watching this, beginner rider ka din, makaka-relate ka. We make mistakes, bukod sa tendency na matumba natin yung bike, we also tend to make mistakes sa inputs natin sa bike eh. Lalo kapag when we're learning how to do fast riding, how to do fast cornering, marami kasing skills na involved that you guys have to learn eh, in order to ride fast safely. Like clutch control and throttle control, yun talaga eh. Like when you're cornering, your throttle input really matters guys. Kasi pag when you're leaning too much and then mali yung throttle mo, nag-add ka ng throttle habang bumabanking ka, habang nagli-lean ka, simple lang habutin mo dyan. Or kaya kapag mid corner, habang nasa corner ka, bumabanking ka, nagkamali ka sa pag-open ng throttle, masyadong medyo too much throttle while leaning, simple lang. And also trail braking, yung yung mga techniques sa braking, mga ganun. It's easier to learn on a smaller cc sport bike in my opinion, kasi sa smaller cc sport bikes meron kang room for error hindi kasing drastic or kasing OA yung consequences kapag masyadong abrupt or kapag mali yung inputs mo sa bike. So yun yung advantage nito, you have more room for learning, more opportunity for learning kesa sa 600cc. Kasi let's be honest, if you start on a 600cc or kahit 400, we can start on a 400 din naman. Pero if you start on a bigger, larger displacement bike, let's be honest guys, you can't talaga reach the bike's full potential kahit sa speed, sa cornering, hindi mo talaga may sasagad yan. Sa bigger displacement kasi onting inputs lang, very sensitive yon sa mga inputs, yung mga bigger displacement bikes. Very sensitive sa throttle input, sa brakes din, napaka-responsive ng brakes niya. So you really have to be refined, you have to have finesse when you're handling a larger displacement na sport bike. Kaya ito, it's a really good start. Bukod sa Ninja 400, well, Ninja 400 is the best value talaga, best bang for buck na beginner motorcycle. Pero you know, wala sa needs ko yung expressway legal so I don't really need a 2-cylinder na expressway legal. I need a bike that's fun to ride in the city and in the twisties. Kaya ito napili ko kasi grabe, iba talaga yung tunog niya So yun, very beginner friendly siya. I've learned a lot of things from this bike. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed my video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate you guys for the support. Thank you guys for watching my video. And if you guys, if you guys agree with me on my opinions on the ZX25R, then let me know your thoughts. Or if you guys disagree, do you think a ZX25R is really not worth it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd really like to hear your opinions on this bike. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and peace out.